What is up, everyone? Today I have another video for you guys, and today I'm going to be talking about a very selfish request I have for Kingdom Hearts 4, and not only Kingdom Hearts 4 but actually the future of the Kingdom Hearts series. Now, I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. If anyone has watched this channel before, I used to make a lot of Kingdom Hearts videos, and just because I love Kingdom Hearts. And over time, honestly, my love for the series has been waning just a bit, and the thing that's really keeping me here still is kind of honestly the apps, because that's where the main story is being put in for some reason. So what I'm pretty much saying is the reason I love Kingdom Hearts is because of the story and the plot, and that's the kind of main reason why I play Kingdom Hearts. So pretty much the point of this video is I have a selfish request, which is I really hope Kingdom Hearts 4 and the future of Kingdom Hearts caters more to its current fan base, the fan base that is made over the years since the start, and not try to appeal to new players so much. Now, I know at the end of the day, video games are a business. They need to appeal to new people. I'm fine with that. Every video game needs to appeal to new people. But I don't know if it's just me, but I had a very strong vibe with Kingdom Hearts 3 that it really felt like it was trying to appeal to new people, like very hard. Like it almost felt like they made it like a restart, and everything was very kind of dumbed down to the point where like it didn't feel like it was made for their current fan base. The only part of Kingdom Hearts 3 honestly that felt like it was made for its fan base was like the last like 5-10% of the game where they went really hard with the story, but everything else really felt like it was just like meant to pull people in, which honestly I don't appreciate. I kind of get if they did that with like a side game, or if they were like saying like, okay, this is going to be the start of a whole new saga, kind of like what Kingdom Hearts 4 is supposed to be. But this is Kingdom Hearts 3. It was supposed to be the final culmination, the end of everything. And honestly, to me, like every decision they made for that game, or at least most decisions they made, felt like they were trying to appeal to new players and get so much more people on the train of Kingdom Hearts, where to me, as a fan of Kingdom Hearts since kind of like near the beginning, it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm not saying that Kingdom Hearts shouldn't try to appeal to new fans. That's not what I'm saying at all. They obviously should. The bigger the fan base is, the better the game does. But what I'm saying is that should not be the focus. The focus should always be trying to cater to your main fan base, because they are technically the reason why you are what you are. Kingdom Hearts is Kingdom Hearts because of their current fan base, so you should either cater to them or at least like stick to the vision. Like for example, in this case, Tetsuya Nomura, stick to your vision. But Kingdom Hearts 3 to me felt like it was very much trying to dumb down its systems, or trying to make selling points to new fans rather than focus on the main story itself. A couple of examples of this, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is there are a lot of people who I've seen, like gaming outlets and just like random, people online, say that they want more jumping in points into series. So for example, another game that I love, or another game series I love, is the Trails of series. So Trails of Cold Steel, Zero, Trails in the Sky, things like that. And I've seen people complain, were like, oh, the game series is very long. They should make a game in the middle where I'm able to jump in and pretty much make a restart point for us to come in. And I've always found that statement completely nonsensical, because why would they do that? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. If you think about a series of anything else, whether it be a movie series, a book series, or whatever, when does it ever make sense for someone to jump into the third one, or like in the middle? Like, it doesn't. Like, if you're gonna jump in the middle, like, be prepared to be a bit confused. Like, you shouldn't be coming in feeling fully comfortable, because that was your own choice to jump in the middle. So if you're gonna jump into Kingdom Hearts 3 or Kingdom Hearts 4, sure, you can do that, but that's your own fault. Like, you shouldn't be catered to as a main audience. Like, if you want to have the full experience, go back to the first game or to the first book or to the first whatever, and that's the way you should do it. So similarly, Kingdom Hearts 4 shouldn't cater to these types of people. Can you imagine if every single installment of a game series or book series, they would start with like a full recap of the past series and then pretty much build up to the point of the story from scratch every time? Like, it'd be kind of weird. And the more you think about it, Kingdom Hearts has kind of been going down that path, which I don't appreciate. Going back to the Trails of example with Trails of Cold Steel or Trails in the Sky, what I love about their games is they don't give a shit about new fans. Like, if you jump to the second one or the third one, you're in it. Like, you're straight up continuing right after the other one ended, and I love that. Like, if you come in new, you'll be a bit confused. You can still play it, but you will be a bit confused. You just don't really know what's going on in the story, and that's okay. But like, they're not like restarting the story and kind of giving a bunch of time in the game to cater to those new players, because that's not who the game is for. The second or third game should be for the people who have played the first game. Like, that's a point of a series. The point of a long-running series is to cater to the people who have been playing it from the start and giving them an interesting story. So getting back to my point, in Kingdom Hearts 3, one thing that I noticed when they were first putting out trailers, which was kind of worrying for me, and then when the game came out, my worries came to fruition, because it just seemed like it wasn't the right choice. And that was, I'll just give two examples. One where they kept showing like these very bombastic, flashy mechanics you can do in combat. I can't remember the exact names anymore, but like the Disney rides, the attraction flow, I think it was called. That was one mechanic. They had like a bunch of different mechanics you can do in battle. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 in a while, but I remember they were like showing off like 3 or 4 different types of mechanics you could use in battle. And while they look cool in trailers, like the attraction flow in trailers looked amazing, like Sora and the roller coaster riding around, hitting the Colossal, that looked cool. But when you actually played it in the game, like it was like, yeah, it was just like a mechanic. Like there wasn't anything that interesting about it. And like if you took it out of the game, nothing story-wise at least would be that different. And even gameplay-wise, like you don't need that many mechanics when fighting, especially because a lot of it felt kind of auto. Like the roller coaster thing was pretty much a cutscene and like you press buttons sometimes. So like it didn't really need to be there. Another example, which is more important mechanically, I would say, is on the bigger worlds. When they talked about bigger worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3, at first I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be nice. But then a worry came into my mind, and that worry was like, okay, if there are bigger worlds, there will likely be less worlds, which I don't like. I think more varied amounts of worlds is more better for Kingdom Hearts. That was my first worry, and that was true. There weren't that many worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3. And secondly, I felt like they were just going to make the worlds big for the sake of being big, and that by far was fully confirmed for me in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, just to give an example, if we take the Land of Dragons world in Kingdom Hearts 2, that objectively is smaller than, for example, the Frozen world in Kingdom Hearts 3. But if I had to pick which world was more memorable to me, it's Land of the Dragons, no doubt. And every single area, because in Kingdom Hearts 2, the worlds were just areas kind of connected by paths. And so in Kingdom Hearts 2, every single area in the Land of Dragons, be it the mountainy, snowy areas, or the burned village, or the Emperor's castle, or like the stony area, or the cave, like there's so many different areas that I can remember so specifically in Land of Dragons. And then when I go to Kingdom Hearts 3 and try to remember, for example, the Frozen world, I just remember like snowy areas. I remember the lake. There was like a lake ice area. I can't remember that because there was like a point there, but like everything else just kind of blurs together, because when you just put one large world and not kind of small interconnected areas, I feel like the worlds kind of lose its magic, and there's just not, it doesn't feel that grand. It's like if they took Kingdom Hearts 2 and they still had those small specific areas, and instead of those teleporting paths, you just had to walk to each area individually. That's kind of more boring. Like, why would I want to do that? I'd rather just teleport to where I need to go. So that's kind of what it felt like in Kingdom Hearts 3. And like, you know, disagree with me if you want in the comments. I'd actually be very interested in that. But like, I just felt like you did not need worlds to be that big, especially when you weren't doing anything with it. So like the Frozen world was like that. Parts of the Caribbean was beautiful, but even that, like, there were very specific parts of the Caribbean world where I'm like, these are like nice places, like that main town. And I think there's this one area with like a bridge and water that was cool. I did not need to have the area in between, really. There's nothing happened there. That castle area, the fort area was cool too. So it feels like in Kingdom Hearts 2 where you just walked into like a barrier and then just teleported there, which like a lot of JRPGs still do that, like, and that's completely fine. But Kingdom Hearts 3 wanted to make it a full world, and because of that, it just felt like they were putting resources and assets into places that did not need to be there, and I wish those resources were just put into more worlds. And that kind of brings me to my next point in Kingdom Hearts 4. Another selfish request is, I feel like unanimously, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like unanimously, I feel like Kingdom Hearts fans adore the original Kingdom Hearts worlds. I'm talking about like the Final Fantasy worlds, the Twilight Towns, the Hollow Bastions, like those type of worlds. I feel like we all like those worlds, and like to a point we kind of like them better than the Disney worlds. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, why would they remove them in Kingdom Hearts 3? It just seems so backwards, and it almost feels like it's kind of like a Disney exec telling them to be like, hey, just put Disney worlds and don't put in OGK worlds. But I don't think that's the case. I feel like at this point, with it being such a long-running series, Square Enix would have more pull than that. So I don't think it's that. So like, it's just mind-boggling to me. Is like, why would you not put those worlds in? And I think like when Kingdom Hearts 3 was in development, there was an interview where someone said like the reason they don't have Final Fantasy characters in it is because they have a big enough Kingdom Hearts cast. And I'm like, I get it, but like, were the Final Fantasy characters just that for you? Like, I feel like the Final Fantasy characters that were in the Kingdom Hearts games felt like a part of the Kingdom Hearts cast at that point. It's not like they were Final Fantasy characters. Sure, that was their origin, but to me, they were Kingdom Hearts characters at this point. So the fact that like, I don't know if that was Nomura who said that, but like the fact that they were seen as just like Final Fantasy characters that they could just throw away in the final game kind of felt weird to me. So hopefully in Kingdom Hearts 4 and in future games, original Kingdom Hearts worlds and the Final Fantasy characters have more of a presence, because those are definitely the highlights of all the games for me. And the Disney worlds, while they were fun, I feel like the path that they're taking now in Kingdom Hearts 3 and maybe the future, the Disney worlds just feel more diluted. So if they do decide to kind of stay on this path of these kind of more watered down, big, loose Disney worlds, which I'm just not that much of a fan of, hopefully they at least still add more original Kingdom Hearts worlds to at least offset that, just so in case I'm not a fan of those Disney worlds, which at this point I'm kind of not, hopefully there's still some worlds that I do enjoy. I feel like a lot of the steps they're taking is to appeal to a more broader audience and to more Western type games. But like, there are still so much JRPGs that do what they always used to do and are doing amazing. I'm gonna keep coming back to the Trails of series because I love that series because they clearly have a story they want to tell and they tell it and they do not make any compromises. They are long ass games. They do not look the best. They still look kind of like PS3 era games. The newer ones look a bit better, but like they don't look the best. They still have like areas where you gotta kind of go to an invisible barrier, then teleports you to the next area. They still do that thing that Kingdom Hearts 2 did, and those games are just fantastic. The world building is amazing, the characters are amazing, the story is amazing, and like Kingdom Hearts, I wish just was more like that and had that kind of mentality where like they don't have to. You guys are big enough; they don't have to appeal to the general audience anymore. They could kind of do what they want, but more and more it seems like they're trying to appeal to the broader audience and become more than they need to be. So like hopefully in the future they go back to their roots and focus more on the original Kingdom Hearts story and like stop all this Disneyfication they're doing. And I know it started with Disney, but I feel like they're kind of letting Disney take over too much of the games and they're just pushing their actual main story to the apps, which is kind of a weird approach. So like hopefully the future of Kingdom Hearts is a bit more brighter, because right now I'm not a huge fan with the path they're going. But yeah, those are just my 2 cents. Those are my selfish requests. And if you agree or disagree, please let me know down in the comments below. I'm very interested to hear, because this could be just like a selfish thing that I think, and like for all I know, people might think like, nah, they're fine. I like Disney. I don't like original Kingdom Hearts, which like obviously that could be you. So let me know if you're one of those or if you're not. I'd be really interested to hear your opinion. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time.